Hi, this is Adrienne Gavard of Grouse Wine Cellars, and I'm going to share a wine cellar project with you that we completed in a passive home. We were contacted by the client building a new home in West Vancouver, not too far from our office and showroom in North Vancouver, probably about a 15-minute drive away. They were working with Nykun Contracting to build the house and Battersby Howitt Architect. This was going to be what's called a passive home, meaning it's an ultra low energy building requiring very little energy for heating or cooling. In the case of this client, he felt that he might actually contribute back to the energy grid. Now, some traits specific to passive homes are in their solar design, maximizing power from the sun via exposure as well as solar panels. You can see them here, quite a few of them on the roof of this home. It has high insulation values, it's airtight, has advanced window design with triple pane glazing, passive natural ventilation, creative lighting design using low voltage lighting, and they make use of waste heating or do heat recovery from things like appliances. So in keeping with this theme, we wanted to build a very natural looking wine cellar. The wine cellar was basically carved out of the earth and it had a very large natural stone outcropping. Where the walls were not subterranean, and most of them were part of the earth, it had very high insulation values, including a very substantial triple glazed door that limited the amount of heat that might be absorbed into the wine cellar. The client also installed a Lunos Ego all-in-one room ventilation system with a built-in heat recovery core so that he had proper ventilation and air circulation in the wine cellar, because we did not install a traditional cooling system here. Now, the large rock outcropping into the cellar was not only effective for the climate control, but obviously provided some spectacular atmosphere and a very nice natural look and feel for the space. In keeping with the natural theme, the client wanted natural wood racking without any finish and also wanted to keep the exposed concrete walls. In his case, we ended up going with an unfinished sapele or African mahogany millwork and some aluminum pegs that would mount directly into his concrete wall. The client's contractor installed flagstone flooring, which really tied everything together. In reviewing the millwork, and that was built out of the sapele wood, we've got a number of different design elements, including label forward display, which also was a way of minimizing the depth. We have a quarter round display shelf with built-in LED lighting to display some special bottles. Sometimes the client might choose to also put decanters, stemware there. We have a horizontal display row with LED lighting above to highlight some more special bottles. On top of that, we have individual bottle storage, and down below, bulk storage for when you buy wine by the case. So everything's the same in the same diamond bin, where you can fit, I believe in here, it was about 12 bottles of wine, same as a case. On the second wall of millwork, you can see the same presentation row, individual bottle racking, but now down below we've given some rectangular bins so that the client could store wood cases with wine in them. Now focusing on the pegs, we went with double deep pegs here, so you can go 2 bottles deep. And these pegs, they're in a natural aluminum finish, but they're a little bit more unique in that they're a square shape and not something that you see very often. We also, in addition to finding special hardware to mount them into the concrete directly, we installed some on the end gable of the millwork here just to kind of cap that off and provide a little bit more storage. The positioning of the wine pegs was also unique to this project in that we wouldn't always choose to install them in what I would refer to as a pretty unreachable area over top of the stone outcropping. You can see we've got bottles going all the way up over top here, but this was a very active client, had an interest in climbing the rock to reach certain bottles of wine. The other special touch the client added here was the organization of his wine, installation of some flags to indicate the region or the country that the wine was from. Now you can see here in our drawings that were created for this project just a better overall view of the wine cellar and how all of the walls and design work together. You can see the millwork on the 2 walls here, as well as the pegs going into the concrete, and then a representation of the rock outcropping. Now this was, I believe, our 4th rendition of the design. We didn't make too many substantial changes here. The client was pretty clear with their requirements up front, but we did start with an all millwork design And after he visited our showroom and saw all the different options that we have to offer, he really gravitated towards the square pegs, and we were able to source that special hardware to mount directly into the concrete. And so this was the final design that was arrived at. This was a very interesting project to work on. We learned a lot about passive homes, and we're proud to collaborate with forward-thinking clients, builders, and architects. This was the very first passive home built in West Vancouver. If you're looking for a more natural wine cellar solution similar to this project, please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to work with you.